Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, where we take a look at your top stories making headlines in Israel. We do it every Monday to Thursday. And of course, now with the war between Israel and Hamas, we have been concentrating a lot more there. So let's take a look at those top stories. And we are heartbroken to announce that 13 IDF soldiers have fallen in defense of the state of Israel over the last 24 hours. This is during heavy clashes in the Gaza Strip. Now, last night, the IDF struck tunnels underneath Jabalia refugee camp. And the global media, of course, ran with the story that Israel attacked a refugee camp. So let's unpack the headlines and the story. First of all, Jabalia refugee camp, which was a refugee camp 75 years ago, a tented city, is now one of the most densely populated neighborhoods inside of Gaza. Underneath Jabalia is a very, very intricate metro of tunnels. Now, as you know, for the last 3 weeks, the IDF has been appealing to Gazans to move from the north to the south, which is what most of them have done. Now, last night, the IDF received intelligence that one of the high-ranking Hamas commanders was in the particular area of the refugee camp. Now, under international law, this makes it a legitimate target. If it is a military threat to the state of Israel, this is a legitimate target under international law. So now, according to the IDF spokesperson, the IDF fired through the buildings towards the tunnels. Now, just a reminder, those tunnels, very, very sophisticated, under the ground in Gaza, a whole network, thousands of kilometers long, where they are stockpiling weapons, storing fuel, storing food, storing water and medicine, everything that Hamas would need. So that's stored underneath, which is subterranean. So in striking those tunnels, what happened was it created a sinkhole and some of the buildings collapsed. Now, of course, Hamas ran with the story that 500 women and children had been killed. It's amazing how it's always women and children. But according to the satellite photographs and the intelligence, it was about 50 Hamas terrorists. And here I want to caution everybody, because we are hearing these numbers, 8,000 civilians killed, mostly women and children. I want to caution you with something, and I've been saying it quite a lot. Hamas's end goal is civilian casualties. You heard me talk about it yesterday. I'm reminding you again today. They don't care if they pay a heavy price with their own civilians. They embed themselves in the civilian infrastructure because they know that this will win them a war in public opinion. The statistics that come out of Gaza come from the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza, which is run by Hamas. No information leaves the Gaza Strip, whether it's journalists reporting inside or information from NGOs, goes out without going past Hamas for control. So always question those statistics. We are not denying that there are any civilian casualties. We know it and we don't want it. Hence the continuous warning to get to safer areas. And yes, the IDF is still acting in the south of Gaza, but as the IDF have been very careful to say, safer areas. But the north is an active combat zone. So when you see these headlines, demand clarification. So that was the situation in Jabalia. The IDF did strike their target, which was one of the masterminds of the 7th of October massacres. Now, yesterday, Yemen sent a UAV, which was eliminated by the IDF air defenses, as well as several rockets towards Israel. There have been some press reporting that Yemen has declared war on Israel. Personally, I don't think it's Yemen that has declared war. I think it's Houthi rebels that have, and they are an Iranian proxy. However, the IDF have said they have bolstered their air defense systems around the area of Eilat. The South American country of Bolivia has officially severed ties with Israel, along with Colombia and Chile, calling their ambassadors for a summoning. Now, the Foreign Ministry of Israel said that Bolivia has capitulated to Iranian-backed terror, and I just wonder what massive contributions we are going to miss coming from Bolivia. Egypt's President al-Sisi last night said that he is prepared to pay with the lives of millions of his civilians to ensure that no refugees from Gaza cross over the border into Gaza. The president has said that he will allow those who need medical help to get medical help, but absolutely no refugees. And Egypt has stationed tanks along the border with Rafah crossing. Meanwhile, foreign nationals have been allowed to leave the Gaza Strip. This is as per Hamas, and many of them have been leaving during the course of the day. Information coming in from Gaza is that the internet and electricity have gone dark yet again. Meanwhile, it is expected on Friday that U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit Israel. So while we are talking, still a lot of action happening. The action is very, very concentrated in the north of the Gaza Strip. There's almost, if you look at the map, and I explained it again yesterday, there's almost a ring of fire that has closed in Hamas and Hamas terrorists that are operating in northern Gaza, and our soldiers are going from house to house, engaging in combat in very, very difficult asymmetrical warfare. Now that brings me to the end of today's headlines. Don't forget to join me again tomorrow. But in the meantime, we have all our coverage up on our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our YouTube channel is at The Israel Brief. If you like our content, please subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Our Facebook page is at Lottel Site, and we're on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5 or X. I don't know, who can keep up? Changes its name so many times. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow.